Hi everyone, this is our new traditional woodworking bench, and this is how you use the end vise. So, you can use one screw, you can use both screws, but mainly when you get the jaws finally down to the end closure, you want to make sure you tighten the right screw as well, just so it's evenly tight. And then also, when you go to loosen, you want to loosen this handle first. But you want to clamp something to the top of the workbench, you can use or the bench dog system, as has been not designed by us but been used by many people. You press up a peg at either end of the bench and the vice jaws. I've already got that one up. Just pretty simple. Open the vice up. Clamp in your workpiece and tighten it only as much as you need, because they're already pretty strong as it is, and if you crank them too hard you can make the chain slip, and that's no fun to fix. So with this on top of the bench, you can hand plane your work or do whatever you want. Okay, this is the face vise. And it is wonderful because it has a wagon wheel for a handle, and you can fit really long pieces all the way down to the floor in, and it will hold things at an angle, so you can twist the vise a little bit, but it has its limits. And you can also just use it as a regular vise as well, and there is 14 inches all the way down to the bolt. So you could fit a chair seat in here, you could fit a large piece of work, and it has a lot of clamping power. And you don't need to tighten the vise too hard because it already has a lot of torque already. So just to get an idea, that's how strong it is. And I think that is about it. These are holdfasts, basically a really old system of clamping that works by having the shaft flex to hold your workpiece down, and the shaft gets stuck in the hole. So obviously you saw pounded in holes like the Dickens, but if you want to release it, just hit it from behind. And one thing to note, if your workpiece is close to done, you might want to put a scrap block just so these steel pads don't damage your work. Also, never pound them directly into the bench because they'll also leave a bad mark too. But again, very strong, and they work best as a pair because they keep your work from pivoting with two clamping points. This is a bench hook, and it'll be stored in the shelf underneath the bench, along with a few other accessories as I continue to make them for everyone to use. A good way to keep from cutting into the bench with a hand tool is to effectively raise it off the surface. So what's nice about this accessory is you can hold your workpiece against this cleat with your own body weight, basically, and then you can cut straight into the work. And when you're done, as you finish the cut, just be careful that you don't drive this all down into the bench top. But it's great because it keeps your work a good distance off the top. So very useful item, not just for cutting, but for work holding. If you are using carving gouges into a piece and you're only carving this way, this will hold the piece down as well. Okay, some quick do's and don'ts. Do use primarily hand tools. In fact, really only hand tools on this bench, just because we want to preserve the top the best we can and keep it in the condition that we left it in when we made it. Yes, it will get scuffed. That is normal because it's a workspace, but that also means not cutting into the bench or slipping with a screwdriver and pounding into the bench. Always use a scrap when you think you're going to have downward pressure on a cutting tool, available, and in general, just keep in mind the hours it took to make something like this, and it will last us hundreds of years, and hopefully after the cockroaches come as well. So please be careful with it, and please use it. It's a very valuable asset to our shop, and we want everyone else to enjoy it.